Hey everyone. Oh, it's me, Dr. Peters. Oh, yeah. Forgive the disguise, but you know what? You can't be too careful these days online. The truth is that we all have a major concern when it comes to privacy using digital technology, using things like social media and other online experiences. As you've learned in both your chapters, especially chapter 13, digital media and the social media has been a great tool, a great asset for organizations, particularly marketers. It has helped organizations to communicate, to promote, to even sell themselves to consumers, as well as gain valuable information about the constituency in which they serve and hope to serve. So one can say there has been great benefits aligned with going online and using social media for organizations as well as individuals. However, a serious question that has to be posed with the use of this technology is, where do we draw the line between the professional and the personal? What do I mean by that? Well, oftentimes students are somewhat surprised and a little bit taken aback by the fact that when they apply for positions in certain organizations, in fact, many organizations these days, that these organizations will oftentimes, along with reviewing their resumes, look at their social media accounts to see what type of presence they leave, what type of trail, what type of characteristics they portray to essentially the world. Now, some students think that that's kind of a bit unfair, because what it suggests there is that you are interpreting or evaluating my personal space and using that to judge what I can bring to your organization professionally. But the truth is, anything that's available socially, listen to the term social, is fair game. And so oftentimes employers will look at this, will gather this information and use this information to form judgments, whether those be positive or negative. It can also hurt or help an organization. Organizations have been quick to use Twitter, Instagram, Facebook to announce and to communicate very important pieces of information to their clientele, to their customer base, to their followers. But what is said on these different sites and these different avenues can also hurt an organization, even if what is being said in an individual capacity. So, for example, if I'm a vice president of Southwest Airlines and I were to make a statement on my personal Facebook page that can be construed as offensive or somewhat controversial, those statements can have impacts on the organization that I work for, even though I am not making those statements in my professional capacity as the vice president of Southwest Airlines. And that has happened on more than a few occasions, and we've seen the ramifications of that. And so again, the question of whether or not that's fair, because as the vice president, yes, I do represent my organization, but I am also an individual. I should have the ability to have personal opinions without those infringing upon my organization's reputation. But that's not the case. The case is, because social media has been used both in an individual and a professional capacity, the lines between the professional and the personal have been blurred. And so that's something that we have to take into consideration. Organizations are using these forums as means to communicate, but because of the personal and social nature of these forums, again, we're not certain what's business and essentially what's pleasure. So those lines again have been blurred. But beyond this whole idea of losing or having a reputation damage, people have had experiences, of course, where they've lost some type of property, whether that be tangible or intangible. I'm sure you've heard about the cases of identity theft Recently, very large organizations, I'll just name one, Target, has come under intense scrutiny because they have lost or have been hacked, and the personal information of those that have used their bank cards, the financial information of their customers during a period of time, have been stolen, obviously by people that are going, or whose intention is to use this information for their own personal gain. And so here we are faced with a dilemma. As a customer, we want to provide organizations with information. Why? Because the information that we provide them, as you've seen in your chapters, can help the organization to cater more specifically and in a much more customized manner to our needs and our demands. So essentially, the more information I give you about me, my buying preferences, my behavior, what motivates me to make purchases, the more information that you gain about that, the better supposedly you as an organization are going to be in terms of catering to my needs and my demands. However, the more information that I provide you, while there is some convenience associated with that, while there is some quality enhancement associated with that, there is also the concern that that information that is provided to you can either be used by you to do harm to me, or by others, if that information was stolen and given to others, to do some harm to me. And so here I am as an individual wanting to provide some information, but being very, very cautious in terms of the types of information that I provide, when I provide it, and to whom I will be willing to provide it. And that's really a huge dilemma that organizations and individuals have faced in this age of social media, in this age of online e-commerce, Web 2.0, where everything is such that organizations want to make a much more customized experience, want to create much more customizable products for their customers. And customers want that experience and recognize that there is a need to provide information to allow that, to facilitate that. But also, customers recognize that there has been situations where serious information has been lost and information has been used against the customer in such a manner to create some type of damage, where it's not just my reputation that's hurt, but I've actually lost property in terms of whether that be financial, tangible, or what, some type of intellectual property, what have you. So that's the good and the bad, if you will, with digital technology and the new age of marketing. Greater information access and ease of access has allowed for more convenient, quicker, expedient, and better service and products. That, however, has come at a price. The first one, as I mentioned, the lines have been blurred between the professional and the personal. Can I be a worker and also be an individual? Can I be a potential employee and also have my individual space? And secondly, of course, where or how do I protect my information from those who will use it for my harm, but still give access to those that could potentially use it for my gain? That's kind of the dilemma that we face, and that's going to somewhat continue as we become much more of an open type society, a much more involved and interactive society as we progress in terms of our technology.